Vegas is of interest to unrestricted free agent Mitch Marner, according to a hockey insider. What would it take for the Golden Knights to land the magician? Next on Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to this holiday weekend special. I am Tony Cardasco, along with Chris Golick. I am a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the new Believe in Vegas podcast. Chris, a longtime VGK season ticket holder, day oneer, I guess, and the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports and the collectibles editor for the Hockey News. Ahead on today's show, Mitch Marner reportedly interested in Las Vegas. Who leaves if Marner comes to Vegas, and then updates on the conference finals. We are brought to you today by Monarch Money. Use the promo code LOCKDOWNNHL. You will get 50% off of your first year at monarchmoney.com. So Mitch Marner, Chris, has played his entire career with the Maple Leafs, but now he's apparently ready to leave not just Toronto, but the country of Canada entirely. All the Canadian teams he's going to block out: Vancouver, Edmonton, Ottawa, Calgary, Montreal, and even Winnipeg, for crying out loud. They should be off the table. Now, Pierre Lebrun of TSN believes that it is likely that Marner, age 28, is going to market. And today, a Darren Drager report said it's 99% sure that Marner will go to market. And Marner believes it is likely that he will be going somewhere, coming off of a career high 102 points. And he's expressed interest in the Golden Knights and in Florida. While is it a little bit different if Anaheim, Detroit, Chicago, and the Kings, according to LeBron, are among the teams interested in Marner? That's a little bit different, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Toronto Maple Leafs cap situation right now and just trying to figure out, like, if the Leafs want him, how they couldn't fit him. Leafs got right now 25. So Puckpedia rolled everything over, so you can see in real time today what it looks like for the upcoming season. Shows the Golden Knights having their $9 million and change in cap space. Leafs got $25 million. Now, they got a lot of free agents to talk about. Pacioretty, Tavares, Mitch Marner, Steven Lorentz. You got some RFA deals, including Nick Robertson and Matthew Nyes. Nick Robertson, not going to be an easy deal to put together. That's going to be a lot of trouble. Defense is set, or is it really, I guess, the way their defense is played? So, moving past, who is Mitch Marner, I guess? We had this conversation last year. This is something that keeps coming up, right?
The Golden Knights, over a year ago, when he was called the scapegoat because of Toronto's inability to get past the second round.
Which is no different. Well, he got past the second round, so he can get past the third year now. So, I don't know. I mean, the Golden Knights now enter that realm of all the different teams. Mitch Marner is now a King. He's now a Duck. He's now a Blackhawk. I'm sure by the end of this podcast, there's already, visions out there people make on AI websites with Mitch Marner wearing a Golden Knights jersey. And how this can happen, that'll be interesting. We'll talk about that later. But Mitch Marner, Tony, hit some of the numbers already. 100 points last year, career high. He's been in a 100-point plus pace, looks like 3 other times in his career. What gets me, number one, I've never looked that deep into Mitch Marner's information because it never seemed likely this was going to happen. But it seems like there's a little bit of meat on this bone right now. So I'm going to give this a little more respect than maybe a year ago when we talked about this. And we'll start with the fact that his plus minus is pretty solid, right? Plus 22, plus 21, plus 8.
Tremendous. Yeah.
So you have to, yes, he's on a line that scores a lot of goals. Fine. But you still got to play defense. You still got to play defense, and looks like he's an okay two-way player in that regard.
Kelly McCrimmon has got to be working overtime right now in attempts not only to land Marner, but to come up for no other reason but to block out teams in the Pacific Division. You have the Kings and you have Anaheim. They are going after Marner. Supposedly, the Ducks over $38 million in cap space. The Kings 21.7 million. In cap space, and VGK only close to 10 million. In 657 games that he's played in, Marner, 741 points. And you talked about his plus minus, a plus 18 this past season. He's averaging plus over 20 almost throughout his entire career. So I think that VGK really needs to make an effort here, see what they can do at first, and then if they lose that battle, so be it. But the last 4 seasons, 383 points, Chris, 96 points average per season for Mitch Marner.
They make some good
scoring.
You make some good points about McCrimmon either blocking or building value. Marner coming to Vegas could cost a little less than Marner going to California because you pay more taxes in California. That's why they all keep moving here. Stop moving to Vegas. Okay, anyway. I ranted about the traffic in Vegas on Friday. I got early WTF for the week already. $11 million here, $14 million in Southern California. It's all the same, right, Tony? It's all the same. Now, is he going to take an $11.5 million to come, AAV to come to Vegas? Probably not. But that could be a decision maker. That really could be a decision maker as far as how that whole situation were to play out. But okay, if he doesn't wind up coming to Vegas, the Golden Knights need to make sure, if he's going to be in the Pacific, that he cost every bit of $14 million to the Kings, to the Ducks, to Seattle would be another interesting landing spot. Given their circle, Seattle's never had a superstar player in their history. That would be a great move for that franchise. That's what I think, at least. But make sure those other franchises max the credit card, because Mitch Marner, it's a game changer. I mean, can he play on a team without Austin Matthews? That's to be determined. But talking 100-point player coming to the Pacific Division, possibly, if he's not going to be on your team, it better cost the other team a lot of money so your team can build a team. You're not going to build your team to stop Mitch Marner by any means, but you're going to want to make sure you have every opportunity to compete.
One thing that sticks out in my mind are players that play in the East typically don't want to venture west. Why? Because of the schedule and the travel and all of that. We saw Patrick Kane, right, about a year ago, and his concerns about traveling in the West.
Kane already had a lot of money locked up. This is a big deal coming from Marner. This could be different for him.
We started talking, as we mentioned, about Marner last summer, a year ago, when he was deemed to be the scapegoat. As I said, Marner, over the course of the season, fans are upset because he didn't negotiate even with the team over the past season. And Toronto was on the table in talks with Mikko Rantanen, but Marner said that he wouldn't waive his no-trade clause. So a lot of interesting things happening with Mitch Marner. And is this a player, maybe he's a locker room cancer there, but probably wouldn't be, right, in Vegas?
I mean, listen, this is where you trust McCrimmon, right? The only player that, Robin Leonard, fine. Pacioretty was a bit questionable, but I think Pacioretty wanted a tougher work environment. You can't fault him for that. Mitch Marner, I don't know if he's the cancer or not, but if he was like that, listen, Jack Eichel, right? Everyone had something to say about Jack Eichel when the trade happened. Everyone said, Vegas is screwed. They got this terrible player, whatever. Eichel's been nothing but a model citizen, Lady Bing finalist, for crying out loud. He's been nothing but a model citizen here. So the Golden Knights have a strong enough locker room where if there are some reports about Marner and his issues from Toronto, it's not going to be an issue here in Vegas with Pietrangelo, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone. Again, if these players will be there after this deal happens, who knows or not. But point being is you got to trust McCrimmon if he feels that Marner's character level is par to join the Golden Knights.
And when you look at Marner, again, the Maple Leafs have to be upset if they get nothing in return because he leaves for free agency when they could have had, they could have had Rantanen. Coming up next, what would need to happen for VGK to land Mitch Marner? We'll get to that as we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Have you ever checked your bank account, Golic, and wondered, where did all my money go between dining out? I know you like that fajita place. Also online shopping and a lot of entertainment. And here in Vegas, it is so easy to lose track. And that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. It's a complete command center, not just a budgeting app. And when I started to look into all my finances, you know what stands out? All the subscriptions I have that I forget to cancel. You do that sometimes, Golick? Because I do that all the time. I'm like, what is this bill here? Yeah. Okay. He's just not. Take control of your finances today at Monarch Money. Oh, yeah. You know, I know. You're taking the fifth. You don't want to get in trouble with the missus. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 50% off of the first year. Again, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, 50% off of the first year at monarchmoney.com. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. He takes the fifth. That's a first. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. So, Mitch Marner, we're talking more about him, the magician, as they call him. Currently makes close to $11 million Canadian. And if VGK were to land the right winger, they would have to assign him to a long-term deal, as we know. So he comes off of a 6-year contract in Toronto. He has more points than Jack Eichel, who reportedly is going to be seeking $14 million times 8. But AFP Analytics now projects for Marner 8 years times $12.6 million. And how do you justify spending $27 million between two players?
Well, I mean, Edmonton, McDavid, Draisaitl, it works. Colorado, Rantanen, Makar, or not Rantanen, I'm sorry.
Not Rantanen anymore.
McKinnon, Makar, it kind of works. Stanley Cup. Kucherov, Vasilevsky, like it works with these big tandems that get paid. Now, what do they call it? The core four. Four players making $50 million.
You know what I'm parking, though, too? You know what I'm parking? Who are the Golden Knights core four? I'm going to park that. Okay, go ahead.
Fair enough. William Karlsson. So, I mean, this is tough. Like, I don't know where to even go with this part of the segment, but Pietrangelo, $8.8 million. Jack Eichel, $10 million, going to go up soon. Mark Stone, $9.5 million. Only 2 more years, Mark Stone. Start keeping an eye on that right now. Tomas Hertl, 6.75. Karlsson, $5.9 million. So Eichel, Stone, Mitch Marner, 19. That's 31 to 32 million in AAV, to go up to 36, 37 million in AAV, depending on where Jack Eichel's contract comes in for an extension, which seems like it's going to happen. Now, if all of a sudden there's a deal and 8 times 14, here comes Mitch Marner, Jack Eichel's like, I remember me? You know, you wonder how that's going to wind up working itself out. So how does this happen if the Golden Knights do make a move for Mitch Marner? You start on the backside. One of Whitecloud or Nick Hager definitely gone. Likely Whitecloud. I think Whitecloud brings a better return, whether it's a lower end player, draft prospects, AHL, whatever it is. Zach Whitecloud, you still got 3 seasons at 2.75. Perfect bottom defensive pairing. That's $3 million. Okay, fine. You have to trade a high contract. I don't see Hertl going anywhere. Mark Stone is another one we're going to talk about. Are they going to trade the captain? He's got a full no movement clause. That's very difficult to put together. Okay. Now we're in William Karlsson, Ivan Barbashev territory. I think William Karlsson is the most untouchable Golden Knight, period.
He's untouchable.
And I mean, okay, fine. If we're going to parlay Ivan Barbashev, Zach Whitecloud, and Mitch Marner's coming to Vegas, great. Let's figure this thing out, because that would be fun.
So Marner's salary, that would hit this season's cap, right? Yep. Salary cap. But Eichel's wouldn't hit for another year.
Correct.
So that is a plus for VGK. Sign Marner this season, and then place Stone all of next year on LTIR.
Oh yeah, that was you took my thunder already, but yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But it could be achievable, because VGK could have $33 million in cap space available next year. So that's what it's saying, although that's about 13 or 14 players of the 23. So
Dorofeo will be in line for it'll be in line for a deal that's a $5 million AAV at that point, though. So that money goes fast.
Yeah, the money does go fast. But if VGK were to take a chance here and sign Mitch Marner now, what becomes of all of those free agents in the pool? That's
so
the
let's
big
use
question.
let's use what I just said a second ago right there. Right now, today, May 25th, $9.6 million in salary cap space. Ivan Barbashev gone. Now we're at 14.
How much is Barbashev against the cap? $5 million. That's right.
So now we're at 14.
And we both are in agreement. Barbashev goes.
Yes.
I think he's trade bait right now. Okay.
Either way, he's trade baits. So we're at 14.6 without Barbashev. Throw Zach Whitecloud in there. We're at 17 million, give or take. 17 million. Here comes Mitch Marner for 14 million of that.
No. The projection was about 13.
Okay.
12.
13 million. That leaves $4 million, Tony.
Right.
That leaves $4 million. Riley Smith, Brandon Saad, Tanner Pearson, Olofsson.
Smith over the next 20 years. Okay.
Fine, but it's minuscule as far as the AAV hits. It even if you defer a long time, it doesn't knock it down as much as you would think it would.
Right.
You got a backup goalie to talk about at this point. I mean, it's trying
They're going to be stuck on Schmidt. They are, right? I mean, basically.
Schmidt or Lindbaum. Either way, but that's $800,000. But yeah.
Lindbaum, yeah.
So I mean, it's not quite a square peg in a round hole because McCrimmon's pretty good. McCrimmon's the magician in this situation, not Mitch Marner. Let's be clear about this. So, I mean, Barbashev and William Karlsson. Like, I know Tony will get all excited when I start talking about William Karlsson leaving Vegas. You know,
I'm thinking more Stone.
He's got a full no movement clause.
Why would they sign anyone to that? It's kind of ridiculous. And would he want to go back to
because
Canada?
That's what you pay to win a Stanley Cup, Tony. That's what you pay.
So he's at $9.5 million.
He's at $9.5 million. And what are the goals? I mean, as far as what comes back in a deal for Mark Stone, it's not nearly what Mark Stone could bring to the Golden Knights. It's not nearly.
Marner on that top line with Eichel, you go top heavy. You're kind of like the Minnesota Wild.
And then what?
Right? Then
Exactly.
But you still have Hurdle and you still have Dorofeev and you still have some other pieces, although they're talking about a ton of money for Dorofeev now moving forward.
I mean, Nick Waugh, Brett Howden, although, again, we're not going to talk about this right now because there's so many moving pieces, but if they're going to trade a center, Brett Howden, given his current circumstances, I don't think is tradable. So that leaves you Nicholas Waugh. Nicholas Waugh is a good Swiss Army knife. He's $3 million AAV. He can score goals. He can kill. Do the Golden Knights really want to roll the dice with losing Nick Waugh? And now your 1, 2, 3, 4 does become Eichel, Hurdle, Karlsson, Howden. And then hopefully, they find someone else for cheap down the line. And you think about that. Maybe you throw that extra $3 million in there because now you got an extra $3 million to work with. Riley Smith gets a contract. You ink Tanner Pearson. As far as the RFAs, they're likely going to be Henderson players, Ronbjerg, Schwint, and Holtz. And then Nicholas Hague, again, that's the trouble. Nicholas Hague is another cog to this whole thing because Nicholas Hague I don't think he gets less than 3 something on a 1-year deal or a 4+ AAV hit for a multi-year deal.
Unbelievable. Yeah, they've got
if they try going in the like right at that 2.7, 2.8 range for Hague, he's gonna get offer sheeted, which you know what? Take the second round draft pick at that point.
You know who I would try to pick off from the Maple Leafs is Matthew Nyes. I like that player, a left winger.
No, he's untouchable. Nick Robertson, on the other hand.
Why do you say he's untouchable? He's a free agent.
Matthew Nyes is a grade A, top tier 1 prospect. He ain't going nowhere, Tony.
Just 22 years old. I really like his game. VGK fans don't like him, I'm sure. Okay.
Zach Whitecloud concussed him, remember? Like early in the season.
Exactly. So you don't think – so who would be number 1 on your list? Would it be Barbashev to shed some of that salary cap money?
We're not doing a video game trade in Mark Stone, Tomas Hurdle, Alex Pietrangelo, and just to shed contracts. That's not happening.
Coming up next, we take a look at the conference finals. It comes your way next right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick on this holiday weekend special. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. We are the only daily VGK podcast, and we work overtime sometimes, right? Like on weekends and stuff. Fridays, WTF days, Saturdays, sometimes it is the Chris times Chris Jr. show. So the conference finals, Edmonton on Sunday takes a 2-1 series lead over Dallas, 6-1. Did you get an opportunity to listen? I hadn't seen it yet before we started to record, but I would love to see Pete DeBoer's post-game presser because he was really fired up. I felt bad for Emily Kaplan having to interview him in games. right after there was no penalty call there on the puck that went over the glass. It should have been a delay of game.
Oh, I didn't get to watch much. I only got score updates. I didn't get to watch because I literally was running my card stream until 12 minutes before we started recording this, so I would just sweat the score basically.
Yeah, and so then after that,
6-1. DeBoer has nothing to say about goals.
No, there were 2 quick goals after that for Edmonton.
But still,
he was steamy, and then they stick a mic in his face. Oh, he was miserable. He was absolutely miserable. Connor McDavid finally breaking through with goals.
He's pretty good.
Do you know what? He doesn't have much space sometimes. You know where Cassidy talks about hitting the net? I mean, unbelievable. The quick release.
Best in the world, Tony. It's the best in the world.
The first one, he had absolutely, it was a 3-on-1, granted. He had absolutely no room to score the goal on the left side.
He needs a puck space. He needs a puck space. That's all he needs.
And then with 18.8 to go, and it was just a 1-goal game there. It was 2-1, 18.8 to go in that second period. He scores the goal, and he goes across the goal net. Just unbelievable. For Dallas, Rupe Hintz skated in the pregame, and then not very long, I guess, and long enough for a lot of people to get their clout points there so that they can shoot video of him skating around. And then he came off of the ice, and perhaps he'll be back in that next round. Unbelievable when you talk about the goaltending again of Stuart Skinner. He made 51 straight saves. 51 straight saves.
Dude, he's going to win the Conn Smythe.
Isn't that amazing? The turnaround of this goaltender. I mean, even in game 1, and maybe it does. I said this on the show last week. Maybe it takes him a game or 2 to get acclimated to the style of the opponent early in the series. Then he makes some adjustments and some changes, and then he just locks it down. I'm really impressed, and I'm very much surprised, to be honest with you.
I'm going to tweet this out, I think during your next rant here in a second, but FanDuel, Stuart Skinner, plus 11,000 on the Conn Smythe. That is such a good bet. It is disgusting.
Let's bet $1 each.
That is such a good bet.
That's how you manage
it's 100 to 1 on your money. If it hits, it's 100 to 1.
Is that really? That's a thing, huh?
You can go on FanDuel right now. Or your local sports book, and that's the pool for FanDuel is this. All the other sports books will be within probably, I don't know, what's the way to say it? Within $10 to $20 of that. That's probably the right way to say that. So
it was
between 80 and 120 to 1, depending on the sports book.
It was 179 minutes that Dallas had eclipsed there before they scored a goal on the road in the playoffs. The last one coming, I think, game 2. I think
the team had a road. Wow, that's weird. They had a road scoring drought. A Pete DeBoer team in this economy.
Game 2 against Winnipeg. In the East, I tweeted out, talking about tweets, last night on Saturday night, that I felt after that third game they should just form the handshake line.
I told you, I tweeted out Panthers in 3. When Panthers scored the first goal, I said Panthers in 3. Done. Stop it right there.
How could Carolina drop now 15 consecutive games in the conference finals? That's unbelievable. Florida in scoring currently In this series, it's 17-4. 17-4. Florida.
It's not a sweep.
Make no mistake.
That wasn't a sweep. We didn't get swept.
Unbelievable. I'm telling you right now.
What's Brandon Moore going to say?
I do.
What is Brandon Moore going to say now?
Like, I don't know.
I mean, listen, Brandon Moore. Again, I'm downplaying someone who knows, who's forgotten more about than I'll ever know about the game. So I should remember to maintain a little bit of professionalism here. But it's tough because you watch, like, it's just so hard to wrap my little pea brain around the fact that he's going to possibly go 0-16 in conference final games.
It'll be 0-11 for Brandon Moore, and then the other ones came before him. But he'll be 0-11.
Fine, okay, 0-11. I mean, that's just.
Does he lose his job as a result? I mean,
gosh, I'll tell you, crazier things, Tony.
Florida is so big and so heavy, so heavy.
Yeah, but you know what? Figure it out. I mean, how can you be this uncompetitive, if that's even a word? And I mean, you got the Panthers at only minus 4,500 to win the series. So what that means is you got to lay 4,500 to win $100, which honestly, it doesn't seem like that bad of a return, to be completely transparent with you. But
someone will do that.
Max bet's probably $100, so these casino leads. So I don't know. I mean, it's like the intern put up there. Panthers and Oilers seem like they're on a collision course right now, and what a series that'll be if that happens. And again. Dallas still in that one. Carolina, that series, honestly, they should be golfing right now. But what a series this could be. I mean, right now, the hypotheticals, you can bet the hypothetical Stanley Cup right now. Oilers, Panthers, even money on both sides right now.
Really?
Even money on both sides right now. And Edmonton,
the hotter team is Florida. Hotter team's Florida.
Edmonton will be the betting favorite because they will get more public action. They will be the betting favorite.
So for
I don't get bet down, but yeah.
A couple of updates on injuries heading into game number 4 for Florida. Nico Mikkola, who was just slammed into the boards. Paul Maurice said that he could play in Monday's game, so that's good news. And then Sam Reinhart could return as well, according to.
Sit him.
That's what I say too. But did you see Matthew Tkachuk?
Go 11-7.
Matthew Tkachuk going after Sebastian Aho on Saturday, so that was pretty good.
This is what I love about Matty Tkachuk. So this is old school, really fast here.
Well, when was the last time VGK ran after a player that hurt someone? Okay, go ahead, man.
Titanic, it's been 84 years. I don't know. So Matt Tkachuk, this is old school code of conduct on the ice. Stu Grimson gave a great interview probably 30 years ago about this. When a player is going after your superstar, you're not going after the guy that went after the superstar. You're going after their superstar. You are looking to even the score. So if Stu Grimson were to run Wayne Gretzky back in the day, they don't go for Stu Grimson for revenge. They go after Jeremy Roenick, who were the best Blackhawk player at the time when they were together. And that's how the code of conduct works. So that's why people were like, why is Tkachuk chirping William Nylander on the bench because someone on their team got ran late in the game? For that reason exactly. So that's why Aho got it, because one of the Panthers players got it. And that's how hockey works. It's brutality. It's violence. It's not for the faint of heart at times. But you know what? That's how the game works. And it would be nice to see the Golden Knights have a player that has that spice with the offensive ability of Tkachuk.
Yep.
With the I'm going to punch you in your nose mentality of
they need that. We've talked about that. That's going to be one of our topics too.
Tanev, let's go. Either of the Tanev brothers.
Congratulations to Team USA. They win the Worlds for the first time in 92 years.
Tage Thompson gets to play in meaningful games. Look how good he is, Buffalo.
Tage Thompson needs to be on the U.S. Olympic team. They screwed him over, of course, in the 4 Nations.
How did he not make the 4 Nations?
We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our. No, he was not hurt. Really? No, and the last game, because of injuries, he was up, I guess, in one of the suites there, for crying out loud. We appreciate you tuning in. Fridays, WTF. Saturdays, Chris Times Chris Jr. Show. We'll see you again on Tuesday. From a man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco. We'll see you then right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.